Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine this lovely, Tuesday afternoon where I am, guys, or evening, whatever you like. Thank you so much, guys, for joining me. And welcome to Stretford Post. Before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And also, please don't forget to smash the like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you, everyone, guys. Thank you very much. Lots of news coming out of Man United, isn't it? Today has been quite a lot of. It's been quite hectic in regards to players that may leave the football club, in particular, players who may come in, or player who may come into the football club, of course. It's been a very busy day when we think about it. We got news about Sancho. Could Sancho finally be leaving the football club? Is it possible that it could happen? Could there be a proposal from Betis for Antony? Betis are weighing up an option to buy Antony. So what's going to happen with that? Real Betis, I thought they couldn't afford it. I think they can, to be honest. I think they're twirling some fibs, guys. And are Juve set to battle Fenerbahce for Sancho? I never thought I'll see the day where teams will be battling for Sancho. That would be incredible, wouldn't it? That would be good for Man United. Man United are living in a dream world. If Carlsberg made Sancho transfers, this is what it would be. Absolutely, guys. Thank you, everyone, for joining me, and hope you're all doing well. So let's get straight into it. In regards to Sancho, there has been a lot of news around Sancho. News is just breaking that Fenerbahce are close to an agreement with Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho, apparently, according to rumors, has accepted Fenerbahce's proposal. What do you make of that? I believe it when I see it. I mean, Jadon Sancho going to Fenerbahce in Turkey. It'd be good for him to be on this cultural country, very beautiful country. It'd be good for him to go there. It might teach him a few things about the birds and the bees and things like that. So that is very, very interesting. So when we go to it, there has been a lot of news from, obviously, Ben Jacobs. Ben Jacobs has been talking quite a lot over this last 24 hours. And you know what? Ben Jacobs is really doing well this season. This preseason, Ben Jacobs, I've been very impressed with him. Of course, a friend of the show. He's been on the show twice. He's done a lot of work behind the scenes in regards to transfers this year, you know, and he got the exclusive on Mbeumo, didn't he, the other day, didn't he? So when we look at one of the pieces of news in regards to Jadon Sancho, guys, so Jadon Sancho could be on his way to Fenerbahce, guys. Fenerbahce's interest in Jadon Sancho is genuine, and they're they're looking for a winger. They also have significant funds this summer. 25 million is the ballpark at which Man United would sell it. And that's on Ben Jacobs via the United stand. So Ben Jacobs was on there, of course. Now, guys, if we can make this deal happen, I'd be delighted. I'd be absolutely ecstatic by that. I really would, because I never thought that it would happen. I never thought that we'd be able to get rid of Jadon Sancho. That would, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I thought he's going to be here until next year and he's going to run down his contract. But if he does go to Fenerbahce, fair play. It would help Man United immensely, of course. Thinking about the PSR, if it is rumored that he goes for 25 million, plus you're going to be saving how much on his wages? You're going to be saving a lot of money on his wages as well, isn't it? So, you know, that's going to be very, very good, over 30 million on the FFP. So at the end of the day, that would be brilliant for Manchester United. Can they make it happen? Will Jadon Sancho take that pay cut? Will he take that pay cut? Because Fenerbahce are not known for paying high wages. So I would say that if Sancho is going to go to Fenerbahce, he's going to have to take a pay cut, which I was led to believe he is not willing to do. But we're going to have to wait and see, guys. We're going to have to wait and see. But Sancho removed from the football club is a big thing. It's bigger than we think, of course. Now, of course, I mentioned a few weeks ago about the deal done for Mbeumo. I did say that Manchester United and Brentford were in locked-in talks, and the talks went very positively. So basically, here's what's happened with Mbeumo. Brentford gave a fee to Man United, a price range that they want. Man United have gone away, prepared the bid, and have given the bid to Brentford. So this bid that Manchester United have given should be accepted. It's around 63 million plus 5 to 10 million on add-ons, which I said a while ago now, of course, guys. I don't know why I don't get the credit I deserve, but you know what? It doesn't really matter. As long as we got the community, of course, guys. But you know what? It has been done. Brentford did give a fee to Man United. Their positive talks happened, and Man United went away, and then it came back, and they've given a bid. So that bid for Mbeumo should be done. The Mbeumo transfer should be through the door very, very soon, guys, of course. Don't be surprised if the Mbeumo deal does drag on, though, but don't rest assured the deal is done. We're just waiting until the 1st of July for that financial thing to go, and we just make it official, of course, which helps with the FFP and PSR, of course, as well, guys. So that is obviously very, very important, guys. Absolutely. Real Betis are looking to offer 30 million for Antony. Now, Antony, of course, who smashed it at Real Betis last season and wants to stay at Real Betis, wants to stay in Andalusia, of course. Beautiful part of the world, of course, guys. But what I would say is that, yeah, you want to stay, Antony, but Real Betis have got to pull up trumps. They've got to get the money together, you know, otherwise you're staying at Man United or you're going on loan again somewhere else. One thing I credit Antony about, I do credit Antony about his professionalism, the way he's worked over this last year or so, done very well at Betis, and him doing very well at Betis has also helped Man United in turn. It's helped Man United, and if we can get a fee 30, 40 million, I say 40 million. I think the way he played last season for Real Betis, it helped them a lot. I believe they qualified for Europe, didn't they? Mainly because of Antony. So I would say that, yeah, look, you know, if we could get 30, 40 million for him, take the money and run, in my opinion. But you know what? Fair play to him. He's done absolutely fantastic, guys. Now, in regards to Juventus are willing to offer Douglas Luiz, guys. They're willing to offer Douglas Luiz and Vlahovic for Sancho, guys. So 2 players for the price of 1. 2 birds with 1 stone, guys. Now, this is very interesting because Fenerbahce are coming with an offer of 25 million for Sancho. What would we do? What would you do? I mean, obviously, it's going to be Douglas Luiz and Vlahovic plus cash, probably, and Sancho, you know, because I cannot see how they will give Douglas Luiz and Vlahovic for Jadon Sancho. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I really don't in an ideal, in a realistic world. I know that would be absolutely magnificent if we got those 2 players through the door and we got rid of Sancho. That we take that all day long. Douglas Luiz is a very good player, as is Vlahovic, but Vlahovic alone is worth about, 40 million, in my opinion, more than that, guys, absolutely. So what I would say is that in a realistic world, it would be Vlahovic for Sancho or Douglas Luiz for Sancho. So it'd probably be one of them for Sancho, because I cannot see how. I mean, there were reports today saying that we're going to give 2 players for the price of 1, of course. So basically, I don't think that Juventus would do that. Obviously, that would affect the FFP and PSR as well, of course. So it is either one or the other. It does look more likely, though, surprisingly, that Sancho's going to Fenerbahce. Sancho going to Fenerbahce is a big one, you know, because we can make a bit of cash. And now it's beginning to happen. As I said, patience is key. Man United are going to start selling players now. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everything goes well. Man United are going to start selling players. That's going to be fantastic, isn't it? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and we can start making some money and getting some players through the door, of course, including Mbeumo, getting that signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours, sort of thing. What's going on, everyone? Let me read some of your comments, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Good to see you. Bloody hell, I've got a novel going on here. Big up, everyone, of course. Big up, John. What's going on? I take Vlahovic over Nkunku every single day. I would do the same, mate. Absolutely. Nkunku too injury prone. I agree with that, Jim. I liked Nkunku before he signed for Chelsea, but since he signed for Chelsea, he's been injury prone, and I don't think we need another Mason Mount, to be honest with you. We don't need another injured player in our team. Big up, Danny B. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Evening, Bill. How you doing? Big up, Sanjay. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Philippe, what's going on, my friend? Hey, what's going on, Philippe? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Stretford Post. You are very welcome, and welcome to the family, my friend. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day. Absolutely. Salam alaikum. Wa alaikum salam, Irfan. How you doing, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Absolutely. Bilingual. Manchester, Sal Warner, of course. Philip London. Hey, Danny. Big up, Philip. Big up, Philip. Sorry, I'm reading your comments. I'm delving into your DMs here. Big up, everyone. Irfan, Sal, I'm confused. We are far behind the 60 million once. Isn't that more or less what your carers money? No, the 63 million is where we've offered more than 60. Yeah, we're beyond that. But the problem is, Irfan, is that your carers deal, hasn't even been offered yet. Man United have been, before the Jokeres became available. Jokeres, of course, has spoken today about leaving Sporting Lisbon. He said he wants to leave Sporting Lisbon today officially. He has made his mind up in regards to what club he's going to go to. I know that for sure. I don't know which club, but I know that he's made his mind up. I've been told that he's made his mind up. But what I would say is that Man United have been going for Mbeumo before the Gyökeres deal became available. So Man United want Gyökeres. They bid for Gyökeres. They haven't bid for Gyökeres, excuse me. They haven't bid yet, but they want Gyökeres. But it's up to Gyökeres. Man United could bid 60, 65 billion for Gyökeres because Man United have 250 million to spend in regards to PSR and FFP. So at the end of the day, 250 million. Look, we spent 60 million on Cunha, right? Then we're going to spend 60 million on Mbeumo. Let's say 70 million on Mbeumo. So then you've got 130 million right there. Do you know what I mean? And my maths isn't even that good, guys. So there you go. So forgive me if I get it wrong. I'm going to be absolutely bantered, of course, guys. But there you go. Then you got 100, and then you got another 100 million to spend, guys. So let's not fall in for that trap where we ain't got no money. We could offer 65 billion for Gyökeres, but if Gyökeres decides to go to Asna, and then obviously we're going to be, it's not nothing to do with us. And we tried. Obviously there are other players available. And that's one thing we have to remember. There are other players available, and that's what I would say about that. Big up, Irfan. Big up. Jarvis, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing. Till the shit trinity of Rashford, Garnacho, and Sancho, they don't leave. I won't rest. Jarvis, I think one big up Jarvis, by the way. You know what? One thing I would say about that, yeah, I absolutely agree with that. I think it's so important to get rid of these three players in particular. Sancho and Rashford are the key. Garnacho obviously is there as well. Unless Garnacho comes out of an apology, I don't think we should be forgiving him for what he's done, especially the last month of the season. I do believe young people make mistakes and people make mistakes. He hasn't quite made the magnitude of the mistakes as people think. But what he did with that shirt really took the biscuit, in my opinion. That really pushed it over the line. Those who don't know how important that sort of thing is, that really don't understand football. Sancho needs to go. Obviously, what happened with Ten Hag, it has nothing to do with Ruben Amorim, but what happened with Ten Hag was just too much, and the mouthing off all season, freedom and all that business. Slyly, indirectly talking about Man United here and there and everywhere. He needs to go as well. And thankfully, there is light at the end of the tunnel in regards to Sancho. Once we get Sancho out the door, that would be a cue for Rashford to leave and obviously Garnacho to leave as well. I don't think there'll be any shortage of buyers for Garnacho. I really don't. I think the hardest players is going to get rid of is Sancho and Rashford. But if Sancho goes, Rashford's best buddy is out the door as well, in my opinion. Absolutely. Big up, Jarvis. Thank you for joining me, my friend. I did call Sancho to Fenerbahce low. Come on, give me credit. Big up, Irfan. Big up, Irfan. Yeah. Big up yourself. If it happens, hopefully it happens, Irfan. We'll do that, of course. We'll celebrate, of course. Hope it's true. Let's go. Come on, Philip. Let's go, mate. Let's go. Bill, Irfan, nice one. Absolutely. He did call it. Big up, Irfan, of course. Big up. We give credit on here where it's due. Sal, from where have they got this kind of money to offer this? It is amazing. Look, you know what? Fenerbahce don't usually pay that amount of money for players. Definitely not. I think that if I'm not wrong, they haven't even gone up to 100,000 a week on the wages in their past. They haven't done that before. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And what I would say is that if they manage to do that, then someone's selling fibs in it because they obviously got some stack of money somewhere to be able to do that. Do you know what I mean? So it'd be great. I would love that. The one thing I would say is that Sancho going to Turkey's a disciplined league, guys. People don't understand. It's a disciplined league. You're going to have to be on it, right from the start. And, it is incredibly underrated, the Turkish league. So if Sancho does go to Fenerbahce, fair play. You have to congratulate that. Nearly. Hopefully, Jim. Hopefully it happens soon. But there is a lot of rivalries going on, of course, in regards to the double deal offer in regards to Juve as well with Vlahovic and, of course, Douglas Luiz. Guys, so that there is a circle of rumors going around at the moment, you know what I mean? And hope the bottom line is we manage to get rid of Sancho. I don't care if he goes to the moon, as long as we manage to get rid of him, and that'll be good because then we can move on to Rashford, isn't it? And get rid of that mercenary at the football club, of course, guys, as well. Irfan, we should actually pay Fenerbahce to take Sancho. Goodness me, to pay his wages. It wouldn't be a bad business choice, Irfan. Absolutely not. Jose, let the bullying games begin. Mate. You know one thing I would say? It takes a bravery to go to Fenerbahce with Jose Mourinho as the manager in Turkey, as Jadon Sancho, because he's going to have to be on the ball, guys. He's going to have to be on the ball. We all know how Jose Mourinho is. And Jose Mourinho has got a little bit miserable in his old age, if we're being honest with ourselves. So you know what? If he goes there, he's going to have to be on it from the start, guys. Definitely on it from the start. Danny B, I hope Jose rips into him verbally. There you go. I think he will eventually. I think it'll be all hugs and kisses at the beginning, initial stages, and then eventually there will be this little bit of hostile stuff that happens because Sancho does do that. Would Sancho like the Turkish? I think he'd do well. I think he'd do it. I think it'd be good for his career, to be honest with you. Absolutely, I really do. Philip, I believe it could be dragging on to the 1st of July. Yes, Philip, very, very true, mate. The deals can drag on to the 1st of July because of the financial year. This is stuff that's going to happen. That doesn't mean there can't be a Ornstein bomber or a here we go. There could still be that at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean? But what I would say is this. Whether just as long as the deals are done, as long as the deals are done, I'll be happy with that. As long as the deals are done, I'm not too bothered. As long as they're leaving the football club, I'm not too bothered. If I'm being honest with you, when they are announced officially, if we get a here we go or Bornstein bomber, something like that, or let's guys, we got to make a name up for Ben Jacobs because Ben Jacobs has been doing so well this summer, guys. Show some love of Ben Jacobs, and you know what, Ornstein's got the Ornstein bomber. Fabrizio's got here we go. What has Ben Jacobs got? We need to get Ben Jacobs something, you know what I mean, to to fit in and stuff like that. Absolutely. We may see Galatasaray challenge Fenerbahce. Absolutely. Big up, 2 big clubs. Absolutely. 2 big Turkish clubs there. Smash the likes and subscribe. Thank you so much. Big up Bill, big up Natty, big up yourselves. Hope you're all doing well. Big up Grayo. What's going on, brother? Afternoon, my brother. Hope you're well. Thanks for the message earlier. It was much appreciated. You did say Mbeumo would be here. We go in July, and I think you're right. Hope he's here. I hope there's more. I hope so, Graham. You're very welcome, my friend. You're very welcome. I hope you're doing well. You know what I mean? I know life gets on top of people. Sometimes it gets on top of all of us. You know what I mean? And it gets difficult. So I'm here, mate. If you need someone to talk to and stuff like anytime, man. You know what I mean? Man United family. And yeah, Mbeumo coming to Man United is a start. And I do think Man United do need more 10 in, 10 out, apparently. What we need. I mean, we're not going to get that, but that would be lovely, wouldn't it, at the end of the day? I mean, if Juventus offers us Douglas Luiz and Vlahovic for Sancho, I'll take that all day long. That would be nice. Big up, thank you, Earthan. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you, mate. Thank you. I got a fresh trim. Absolutely, looking a lot younger. Imagine Sancho, Vlahovic, Luiz. That would be awesome. It would be killing 3 birds with 1 stone, isn't it? Because you get rid of Sancho and then you get 2 players in. That's killing 3 birds, isn't it? You know what I mean? I take the Juventus still. I would as well, Earthan. I would as well. I would take that if it is out there. I think we can get Douglas Luiz cut price, I think. Yeah, Natty. So what will happen is that Man United probably use Sancho for a swap deal for Vlahovic, and there will be a fee that will be paid to Man United if Douglas Luiz is included in the price. I would do that deal. I think that would be a very, very intriguing deal, in my opinion. I think that would be a very exciting deal. I would do that deal. I absolutely would, because, you're getting 2 very good players and you're getting rid of Sancho. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, the only problem is you're going to have to maintain, obviously, Douglas Luiz and Vlahovic wages. Vlahovic wages is 350,000 euros a week. So that is more than what Sancho is getting, guys. According to sources, he's getting 350,000 a week. So, can we afford to pay that money? Would Vlahovic take a pay cut, guys? That is interesting. I think if one player leaves, then the rest comes quickly and after, hopefully. Absolutely, Philip. This is exactly what I'm saying. If Sancho manages to leave the football club, if Sancho leaves the football club, right, then Rashford would probably leave, in my opinion. I think Rashford would probably leave. Garnacho is a different one because Garnacho before wasn't really in with the Rashford and Sancho crowd. In fact, Rashford and his entourage were making fun of Garnacho not too long ago, saying he's a wannabe CR7. That shows you the culture at Man United from these absolute clowns that pretend to be Man United players, where they're not really Man United players. They're just Man United player by name, what's written on the paper. They're not DNA Man United players. Saying something like that about a young player is disrespectful, especially if when Rashford was brought up in the academy, you know what I mean? It is a little bit disrespectful, in my opinion. I walked past your carers and he winked at me. That's all I'm going to say for now. Yeah, right, Earthfan. Yeah, right. Absolutely. Of course he did. Please, everyone, can you smash the like and subscribe button to show you appreciate it? Big up, Grayo. Thank you so much, mate. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Let's get to 50 likes. Can we do that? A special discount for Sancho. Come on, Mourinho. Come on, mate. Absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. We don't want any more Chelsea rejects. Big up Kazi. I agree with that one. Absolutely. Philip, your carriers will probably go to Arsenal because of Sesko deals. Look, at the end of the day, I said it earlier in the earlier show. And you know what? Your carriers is 26, 27 years old. He's going to want to play in the Champions League. And I don't blame him, to be honest. He's at a period in his career where he can't really be messing around. And let's be realistic. Man United are not going to qualify for the Champions League. We would done well to qualify for the Champions League next year. If we qualify for the Champions League next year, then it's a year down the line. I don't think that Gyökeres really wants to wait that long if we get into the Champions League next year. The thing is, I don't blame him for that, at the end of the day. What I don't like is all this faffing about, all these rumors, all these agent talk, planting seeds in the media, etc., etc. I don't like that sort of stuff. I just wish they'll keep their mouth shut, to be honest, when they're talking about Man United and stuff like that, in my opinion. Yeah, at the end of the day. I think 1st of July is crucial point of wait for. Yeah, Philip, the 1st of July is very crucial because of the fiscal year. Obviously, the financial year starts, and obviously Man United stand to make more money, stand to save more money as well. So obviously, it makes financial sense to go on the 1st of July. Unfortunately, because Liverpool have improving, Man City are improving, Arsenal have made Zubimendi, here we go, of course, today. So of course, these teams are improving, and people are going to be frustrated. The fans are going to be frustrated. Obviously, PTSD and all that. The fans will be frustrated, and I don't blame them in a way. I don't blame the fans in a way because you know what, it is 13 years of this rubbish. You know what I mean, and getting transfers in late. We're the only ones who are doing this, though. I would stress we're the only ones waiting to the 1st of July to get our deals done. We run like a proper business, ain't we, at the end of the day, and it is frustrating. It really is frustrating because they're dragging all these transfers. My prediction is we'll probably get Mbeumo through the door. After we get Mbeumo, we probably won't get a striker until the end of July, August, and then probably get all the rest of our deals, including the goalkeeper, done in August, hopefully. So I don't think all the deals are going to be done in pre-season. Absolutely not. I think it'd be Cunha and Mbeumo, and that's about it, guys. I think that's about it, unless something happens in the next week or so. Of course, football can change as well. All I'm going to say is when United calls, players go on strike to respond to the calling. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, the strike was not because of that. That was all hearsay. It wasn't real. But what I would say is that, that was the agent talking smack, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. One thing I would say, as I've always said on this channel, guys, and Irfan, listen, all right, I know you're trying to act here we are in the know. By the way, I mentioned about, Gyökeres and the strike a long time ago. I mentioned that Gyökeres can still go to Man United. He can still go to Man United. You know what I mean? Gyökeres is in on holiday at the moment. You know what I mean? Okay, so at the end of the day, look, you know what? Don't put sinister stuff on this channel, mate. Don't. Irfan, okay? Big up Hesty. The problem with Gyökeres is not the price, but he wants Juve for Champions League. That is it. He does. But at the end of the day, if Arsenal get Sesko, Gyökeres has got a choice to make, hasn't he? Gyökeres has got a choice to make. What is Gyökeres going to do? What's he going to do? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and I don't think he. I mean, he could go to Man United. He possibly could go to Man United. But there will be other suitors coming in as well. There will be other clubs coming in for him as well. What I would say is that, with the Ruben Amorim effect, it might do. There is still a possibility that Gyökeres could sign for Man United. Whilst he's still not signed at a football club, he could still sign for Man United at the end of the day, guys. Absolutely. And you know what? That is still a possibility. That's a real possibility. And I know that Gyökeres has made his decision. I've been told that, of course. And you know what? We'll have to wait and see what that decision is, We will be fine. We can share the goals if we do not have deadly strikers. We have to hope so because we are so far back on thingy. Hello, mate. Love the trim. Thank you so much, Tim. Tim Trim. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much, Timo. I hope you're well. Thank you very much for joining the stream and being a member as usual. I really appreciate that, my friend. And I had to have the stream, guys. My hair was a myth. I'm traveling to Italy on Friday, guys. On Friday, I'm traveling to Italy, of course, guys. So there won't be any streams. I might try and do a stream at the airport, but just look out for that. Keep your notifications on. So when I go live, you will see me, of course, guys. Natty, so if we are not in the Champions League for a second year, do you think it can affect us spending? Absolutely, Natty. Why do you think Liverpool has spent so much money? Because they have got 200 million for the last 2 years in the Champions League. 200 million for the last two years in Champions League. That's two Bruno Fernandes. Do you know what I mean? In the 200 million. That's incredible, isn't it? Man United missing out on the Champions League, missing out on 100 million again is gonna be difficult for Man United. We're gonna struggle. We're not gonna attract certain players. Let me tell this right now: Gyökeres would already be a Man United player if we were in the Champions League. Probably many players would probably be a lot better. We'd probably be in a lot better position at the moment. But Gyökeres could still be a Man United player, as I've stressed many times, of course. Natty. Sal, did you see Turkey? I've seen Turkey. Yeah, I've been to Turkey. Yes, Istanbul. Big ups. Do you think Mbeumo and Cunha will be enough goals? Or do we need a striker? Philippe, I think we need a striker, mate, because I don't think that they are proper strikers. I think they're number 10, the two number 10s. And guys, and Irfan will know this one. Irfan said we're not going to sign Mbeumo. Do you remember that? Okay. Do you remember that? We haven't fallen for that one. So what I would say is that, yeah, Mbeumo is a number 10, and so is Cunha. They can also play on the wing as well. So at the end of the day, I do think we need a striker. And I think if we bring a decent striker up there, I wouldn't mind Mateta. I really like Mateta. I think he's a brilliant player. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I think he is a brilliant player. And I would like a striker up there because obviously he can hold on to the ball, bring other players into play and stuff like that. Of course, SD. Turkish league also has massive fanatic fans. Yes, very fanatic fans. Hesti, big up Hesti. They've got obviously Welcome to Hell, Galatasaray, which is absolutely crazy fans over there in Galatasaray. Fenerbahçe the same, Beşiktaş. All these teams are out there. Trabzonspor as well. They're very big clubs in regards to Turkish league, and they're very passionate about their football clubs as well. Yeah, absolutely, definitely, guys, absolutely. Big up. Lanzo, good afternoon, good evening, good night. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. And Bremer basically done, and we get Sancho and Antony out, then we can go for a striker. Absolutely, Lanzo. You know what? This is what I said about the patience. I know it's frustrating, but patience is very important. That things are going to start moving quickly now. As we get to the end of June, things will start moving quickly, and we'll start getting players out the door. Players will start leaving. Players will start coming in. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Anyway, in an ideal world. Sanjay, do you think that Sancho is speculating that Juve and Napoli will increase their offers? Napoli are not going to increase their offers, Sanjay. Napoli have already said they're not going to pay the money per week for Sancho. They're moving away from that. Sancho wants 300,000 a week. I don't know why anyone would pay 300,000 a week for Sancho, but Napoli are not going to be that team. Juventus removing 2 players from their wage bill. So basically, Douglas Luiz and Vlahovic. Gives them an open goal to sign Sancho. So this is interesting because obviously they will save on 300,000 a week odd on Vlahovic and a similar amount, 200,000 a week on Douglas Luiz. So obviously they're going to be saving 500,000 plus a week on those 2 players. So they'll be able to get Sancho in, and it will help with their FFP. So they're willing to take the sacrifice in removing 2 of their players and bringing in Sancho. Wow. You know what I mean? Who would have thought that? Turn up for the books. He'll turn Turkish, then become peckish from all those lovely foods, all those kebabs, Kazi. Lovely. Absolutely. Big up, Kazi. I think we would get the deal set up and then accelerate in the 1st of July. I agree, Lancel. We've spoken about this. Man United through history have only ever signed a couple of players in June. This is one thing to put in perspective. It's very important to put things in context. Man United have only ever signed 1 or 2 players in June in their history. They don't really sign players in June. So we signed 1. You know what I mean? So generally transfers happen in July. You know what I mean? They don't really happen in June. But this season, obviously, because of the 1st to the 10th of June, there was the window which opened, of course, and that led the way for other teams to sign players. Liverpool are going mad, of course, but Liverpool in the Champions League and stuff like that. So obviously they got the advantage, guys, haven't they? Big up, Kenny. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Just have a bid. Come on, Kenny. Hopefully they manage to get the deal through the door. The one thing is, though, 25 million. Be fantastic for Man United. The one thing is, though, is the wages. Are we going to get those wages off the book? Will Fenerbahce pay that wages? Will Sancho take a pay cut? Let's hope that happens, of course, guys. Let's hope. Absolutely. Douglas Luiz is even cheaper than Edison. Good deal for go for. Absolutely. Hasn't really done well in regards to Italian football, but you know what? The league might not just suit him. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Sal, I'm still in the chat, but I'm watching the England versus India test match, and it's enthralling. England was smashing it, but India are right back in it after 2 weeks and 2 balls. Come on England, Grayo. Big up England. Big up. I don't really watch cricket, Grayo, but you know what? Big up England. Come on, beat them. Absolutely. Lanzel, Sal, what's your thoughts on Casemiro to Saudi? That would be a big player to get off the books. Also, really fan midfield. One thing I would say, Lanzel, is that our midfield is a little bit uncertain at the moment when we're looking at the likes of Mainu. It is a little bit uncertain. Playing Bruno as the number 8, is a little bit worrying for me as well. Casemiro is a great player, right? If we can get money for him, that's great. But you know what? Who are we going to play? Because we're just going to have Ugarte then. That means that Man United need to replace Casemiro because we're very short on midfield. We are very short on midfield. And, with our injury record, we end up getting injuries and stuff like that. And then we're going to need another player anyway. Do you know what I mean? But what I would say is that, Casemiro leaving, I think that would be a good thing. 350,000 in wages, 370,000 in wages, actually, being off the books. And that, again, helps with FFP. And Man United will be able to sign players. This is why I'm not too concerned about money. I never have been concerned about money. I know that Man United have done things the wrong way in regards to, Ineos, the 27% and stuff like that. But you know what? Man United are never going to be worried about money. You can imagine how great Man United would be without, debt. It would be absolutely phenomenal, wouldn't it? Natty, Sal, did you see the price quoted for Garnacho? 70. You can think that we get the money for the... yeah, look, at the end of the day, yes, Natty. I don't think this incident should make a difference. I think that this guy's a Puskas winner, for top 5 young players in the world at his age, won a Copa America, won a Copa Libertadores, he's a very good player. If this was any other club in world football, right? If let's, for example, for argument's sake, guys, let's imagine that, Garnacho was playing for, let's say Brighton, right? Let's say that Garnacho, and I would love to see Garnacho at Brighton or Aston Villa because he'd absolutely smack it. Yeah, and let's imagine he was playing for them. 70 million, yeah, they'll be quoting that much money. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, Lanzo, I still think we will get your carries. I just have the cheeky feeling, absolutely. Big up. I mean, look, Lanzo, it could happen. It could happen. I've said it. It could happen. I've already said it. And you know what? It could happen. And if it does happen, I'm not going to be surprised. But Man United need to work on the deal. Man United have not made a bid yet. Man United not made a bid yet. That's the thing. Man United are concentrating on Mbeumo at the moment. But it is interesting to see, Lanzo, that he hasn't signed for anyone yet. You know what I mean? He hasn't signed for anyone yet. Arsenal are talking to Sesko still. So what's going on there? But you know what? Arsenal are still in the mix. They're going to be, you know what? Top Spur were trying to get, obviously, Mbeumo from us, so they're not getting him either. Is it true that nothing out there at the moment, Mishek? What happened, Mishek, is that Brentford gave a price to Man United to make a bid, and Man United have made a bid of that price. So if they rejected the offer, they would have gone back on their word. It's one of them ones. So they would have gone back on their word. So if they rejected the offer, that means that they've manipulated the situation and dug their heels in and lied. Basically, I don't think that's happened, and nothing is clarified in regards to that happening. Of course, United always do big signings. I see Victor coming and having faith to get us in the Champions League. Number 9 is waiting for him. Come on, Lanzo. I hope so, mate. I hope so. That would be great. Of course, if we don't get Victor, then we will have to hope that the Rasmus has a better season with a more... hopefully, mate. Hopefully, Lanzel. I like Rasmus Højlund. Everyone knows I like him. I think he's had the rough end of the stick because obviously there's a lot of expectation on him. And I feel like, it's a little bit unfair to criticize him too much, But what I would say is that when you're playing for a club like Man United are not a charity, and you have to get going. You have to start doing things. You have to start scoring goals. Chido, hopefully, as well. Let's not forget about Chido Obi Martin. He might come in. He scored a great goal at Hong Kong. You remember? He might come in and start scoring goals. He might start banging in the goals. That would be brilliant, isn't it? EC, what's going on? My friend, hope you're doing well. Sometimes a striker can limit the players around him as they are expected to be fed the ball. Some teams without a striker have looked much more of a threat. Absolutely true, mate. Big up, EC, for your comment, mate. Now, let me get into this, guys. Let me get into this. Now, there is rumours going around again, Man United. There always is about this player, guys. Wilfred Ndidi is seen as a low-cost option if Casemiro leaves Manchester United. That is from Ben Jacobs via the United Stand, of course, guys. Big up United Stand and stuff. So that is obviously to do with Ndidi. Now, are we a few years too late in regards to Ndidi? I mean, Ndidi... indeed, we are a little bit too late. And obviously, Ndidi has had his fair share of injuries as well. I remember back, I think it was about 2018, wasn't it? 2017, 18. We were after Ndidi and we were saying, oh, what a player Ndidi is. And he was a great player. Didn't he win the league with Leicester City? I may be wrong, but you know what? Didn't he win the league with Leicester City? Absolutely. Good player, but I think we missed the boat with that one, in my opinion. I do think we missed the boat with that one. I don't think that, you know what, getting Ndidi would be wise, in my opinion. I just don't think he's that player anymore. Now, in regards to Fenerbahce and Napoli, both exploring a move for Jadon Sancho. Manchester United want 25 million. Fenerbahce have also inquired on Leeds keeper Aylan Meisler. Yet to see, Leeds are yet to see an offer. Now, in regards to, obviously, both of them are still interested, but Napoli don't want to pay the wages for the astronomical wages of Jadon Sancho, of course. So that obviously, I don't think it's going to happen, in my opinion. Fenerbahce spoke about Fenerbahce about 6 weeks ago about Sancho going to Turkey. Remember that? I spoke about that, Irfan, subject to popular belief. I spoke about that six weeks ago that he could go to Turkey, which is obviously, you know, a country that, you know what, it would be good for him, in my opinion. It'd be good for his discipline and stuff like that. It would be good for him. But, you know, going to Napoli are not going to be messed around. They're definitely not going to be messed around. They don't want anything to do with 300,000 a week, what I'm hearing, guys. The reality is that Kobe Mainoo's preference is to stay at Manchester United and sign a new deal. Ruben Amorim likes the player. So there you go. Is that confirmation that Mainoo will be staying at the football club? One thing I like about Mainoo is he's not been noisy, has he, this summer? He was left out the team more times than Garnacho last season, and he has not mouthed off. He's not said anything. He's just put his head down and he's working hard. I admire Mainoo. I think he's a good player. And hopefully, you know what, he stays at the football club and improves at the football club, guys. So that's a little bit of news coming out of Man United. Other news coming out of Man United, of course, which is interesting. It is very, very interesting, of course. Always is. Hesty, if we offload Case means Ruben demands a new midfielder, absolutely. And hopefully it's not Ndidi, my friend. Hopefully it's not. Natty, Sal, what do you think of Mason Mount? Do you think he will get many minutes? Yeah, I think he will next season. I think he won't get as many minutes as he got last season, but I think he will get some minutes, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, there's rumours that Amorim likes him. I'm hearing rumours that Aston Villa like him too. And Aston Villa are preparing a bid for Mason Mount. So, you know, I would sell him. I would, because I think if we got Cunha and Mbeumo, we also have Bruno. We also have Ahmad as well, who can play in that position as well. Plus Ibrahimov. We got young players coming through as well. I think I would actually move on Mason Mount. I would. Look, I ain't got no loyalty to any of those players that stunk out the place last season, you know, and stuff like that. I ain't got no loyalty to any of them, in my opinion. Randy, so is it true that players pay less tax in Italy? I saw that they don't pay tax. They do pay tax, but sometimes the club can pay the tax for you. So you can get a tax-free wage. You know, sometimes they do that. Some players get enticed by that. There is less wage in Italy. Yeah, there is less wage. Similar to England. It's not much difference. Obviously, the cost of living is a little bit less. It depends where you go in Italy. If you go to the north of Italy, it's far more expensive than the south of Italy, if you know what I mean. Of course. So, yeah, look, you know, Europe is expensive. Italy is expensive. If you move to Venice, if you move to Turin or Milan, you know, it is incredibly expensive. It is very expensive. Miles, big up, Miles. What's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. Sometimes my days are dark, and thanks to your channel, you shine so bright. Thank you, Sal. Peace, brother. My goodness, Miles, I'm glad, mate. I'm glad that you feel that way. Thank you so much for coming on the stream, my friend. Thank you, mate. You're always welcome. Anytime, mate. Anytime. Thank you so much for your lovely comment, my friend. Absolutely. Big up yourself. 70th Garnacho, just his price tag. Clubs are going to bargain, obviously. Yeah. The problem is they've got Garnacho's drag on the negotiating time wasted. Yeah. What teams are going to do? But Man United need to do what Brentford are doing. That's what Man United need to do. So look, at the end of the day, you give us 60 plus incentives. Give us 60 plus 10 million in add-ons or 8 million in add-ons, something like that. Do you know what I mean? That's what Man United need to do with Garnacho. Say Garnacho's a Man United player. We're still in our plans. You know what I mean? We ain't said about selling him. They're going to say, oh, but he's had problems. We don't care about that. We're sorting it out. He's one of us. He's playing for us. 60 plus incentives, done deal. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I think there should be tax on it. I think there should be tax when a player signs, especially a player like Garnacho, when he signs for another Premier League club. You know, I think there should be. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there should be a little bit of tax because obviously it could come back to haunt you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Natty, So, do you think the problem with the price, how we pay the installments? Yeah, that's part of it. Brentford are digging their heels in. The problem why initially the deal was taking so long is because Brentford want the money up front. And I don't blame them because Brentford are not like Man United, right? They don't have an endless pot of finance and credit. So what it is, right, is that Brentford want the money so they can replace Mbeumo straight away. But by Brentford delaying the transfers, they're harming themselves. They're really harming themselves, to be honest. Christian, what's going on, my friend? Are we doing well? Good to see you. If we can get 50 million plus add-ons, sell-on clause, I'll be delighted, but we must get 50 million guaranteed. In regards to Garnacho, absolutely agree with that, mate. Absolutely agree with that. I don't think it should be going any lower than 50 million and plus incentives. Absolutely. I think that's the lowest we could possibly go because Garnacho's got a ceiling. Do you know what I mean? He's got a ceiling. You know, I can see Garnacho going elsewhere and absolutely smashing it, to be honest, guys. Hopefully it's not in the Premier League. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, British Bulldog. How you doing, brother? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. We are allowed 5 subs during the game, so it take at least 2 transfer windows to be top 4, Bill. Let's wait and see, mate. Football is so funny sometimes, Bill. At the end of the day, all it takes is Man United to win that opening game of the season against Arsenal, and then we will be very, very giddy, won't we? Very, very giddy. Big up, Bill. Cheeto is a natural striker. I agree with that, Randy. I would like to see more minutes to give it to Cheeto. I think Cheeto should be our starting. If we don't sign a striker this season, I think Cheeto should be the starting striker next season. That's my opinion. Sal, is Edison going to Saudi? I've not heard much about Edison the last couple of weeks, but the noises that are surrounding Edison at the moment it does point towards Saudi Arabia. You know what I mean? And he is enticed by the money. He likes the money. He likes the good life, of course. So he is interested because of the money. And fair play to him. It's a great country. And if he wants to play there, good luck to him. Of course, they're proving in the World Club Championship. They're not that bad, are they? At the end of the day. Lanzel, if Mason stays fit, then he can be a good player for us. Lanzel, if he could stay fit, right, I think he can be a good player for us. But obviously, the problem with Mason Mount is he had a pelvis injury. So when you have a pelvis injury, there is knock-on effects. There's knock-on injuries that you get from a pelvis injury. And the medication that you take for the pelvis injury, it does affect your body. So that is the overriding problem. We should have known this when we signed him a couple of years ago. Do you know what I mean? Spent a year ago, spending 50 million on him. So at the end of the day, look, I want Mason Mount. I like Mason Mount, but the thing is, like, if he's not going to be fit, it's counterproductive for us, isn't it? And we can cash in. If Villa bid for Mason, we should sell injury prone, just like Shaw. Absolutely, Lanzel, big up. There you go, the difference in opinion. There we go, guys. Absolutely. Very conflicting articles, info on these journalists. And Nkunku links are now Ndidi. I thought United are focused on players who are under 28. I wouldn't surprise if we are linked with Suarez next. I don't think Suarez will do a bad job for us, EC, but he will never play for Man United. Obviously, the record and the history between Man United and Suarez is not pretty. If we remember Patrice Evra, even though it would be great, you know what I mean, to get him through the door, of course. But what I would say is that Man United transfer window is messy as usual. And I would say that it is messy. It's all over the place. There's no direction in regards to what's going on. It's a little bit kamikaze, in my opinion. Man United being interested in players doesn't mean that we're going to sign every single player. Man United might have a list of 100 players. Doesn't mean that they're going to sign every one of those players. So at the end of the day, there are these links going to be coming out for players that Man United could be interested in. But I'm telling you, we're not going to sign Ndidi. I don't think that's going to happen. Absolutely not. We missed the boat with that one. He's injury prone. He's 28. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. So, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that is just a rumor coming out, of course. Being a traditionalist, I do not like the black on the shirt. Red and white for me. The black is the socks. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, Man United have changed their kit, haven't they? They changed it up. But Man United have had black on their kit for quite a long time now. I think Man United had black on their kit 1996, 97 when they had that kit. Yeah, I had that one as well. Man United notoriously had a black away kit. We've always had a black away kit. We've had a white kit with a black shorts as well and white shorts. In regards to the black kit, I think Man United had black on their kit, the white kit in the 1980s, the white and black one with the red stripes. I think Man United have had that. I don't think Man United have worn black much in regards to the home kit, only recently from the 90s to now. In regards to the 80s and the 70s and the 60s, I don't think we have, to be honest with you. Absolutely, Bill. Interesting. Paul, how are you doing? Sal, kindly check your mail. I have sent you with you. Thank you so much, Paul. I will check it, my friend. No problem. A big up, Sal. No more Serie A cast off, please. It's a poor league. Big up, Gucci Cowboy. It's definitely not the Premier League, that's for sure, but it is one of the better leagues in Europe. That rather than the Portuguese league and the German league and stuff like that. They were in the Champions League final. Tell me the last Serie A player who was good in the Premier League. I'm saying Zola. What? Wow, that's crazy. I think Tonali's been pretty good for Newcastle. Obviously had the problem and stuff like that going on there. Gianfranco Zola. Okay, you're going to go there. So you're saying Gianfranco Zola. Vialli was about the same time, wasn't he, in regards to that? So I would say, Yorkshire Cowboy, it has to be Massimo Taibbi, mate. Have you forgotten about Massimo Taibbi, bruv? Have you forgotten about Massimo Taibbi? You have not forgot, have you? Have you forgotten? Makeda? Have you heard of Makeda, mate? I'm joking. Look. Italians, in regards to the league, they've won trophies, mate. 4 World Cups. 4 World Cups, European Cups, and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Look, at the end of the day, what I would say, Italian players who played in England, you know what? There isn't many. The league is different to the English league. The league is much more slower than the Premier League, and notoriously players tend to struggle. It's a bit like McTominay. And you know, when McTominay went to Italy, I knew he would suit that league because the league is slower. You know what I mean? It's slower, and it suits his game. To be honest with you, you know what I mean? So yeah. It's a good lead, though. Inter Milan were in the final. I know they got smashed, but they were in the final. Natty, Sal, why Manchester United, they did not get anything about Garnacho incident? What they did not say anything. Man United, the problem with Man United, well, I don't think it's a problem. I think what it is, Man United don't want to air the dirty laundry. And I think that's the right approach. I don't think they should be adding salt into the wound. That's not to say that Man United have not spoken to Garnacho. Of course, I believe they have. Garnacho has posted another post on Instagram without the Aston Villa jersey, just the other post where he's sitting in a restaurant, just that one. He's removed that one. So maybe he has been told. We don't know that. But Man United just don't want to air the dirty laundry in public. They just don't want to, make a fuss about it in regards to the media, because Man United don't need that. Man United don't need that. So even Alex Ferguson would have kept it in-house. If Alex Ferguson was asked a question about Garnacho, Alex Ferguson wouldn't say anything about it. He probably wouldn't. Guys. Only 32 likes, so come on, guys, do this especially. Come on, guys, let's get to 40, 50 likes, guys. What's going on? We got 53 in the house. Please don't forget to smash the like, guys. Please, guys. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Smash the likes, guys. Come on. It's easy. It's free. So, you think the best attribute of Mason Mount? Control. Control of the ball. That's it. Control of the ball and a creative side of things. He's pretty good at creating things as well. He does come out with a good passes as well. I think his passes are pretty good. I think passing and control of the ball, in my opinion. Steve, what's going on? Another great show. We just need players who will die for the badge. Absolutely, Steve. Rebello, big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Absolutely. This is what it's all about at the end of the day. Players who want to die for that badge. I don't care who they are. If they're talented and they want to fight for the club, bring it on. You know what I mean? That's what we need at the end of the day. Mbeumo, Cunha, all these players, hopefully they fight for this badge. Hopefully they do it. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Dabizas. Betis, 30 million for Antony and 23 million for Sancho. That's 53 million for 2 players. Right there. Absolute Dabizas. Big up Dabizas. Dabizas, I think the new kit looks good. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's a bit simple, but it's all right. I mean, look, you know, the one thing I don't like about Adidas, and obviously you got the authentic kit and you got the replica kit. I always like the authentic one. The authentic one, though, it would set you back about 150 euros, something like that, which is disgraceful. I think the kit should be the kit. I don't think there should be replicas, because the replica looks completely different to the authentic one if you look at it, with the shiny stripes in regards to non-shiny stripes and things like that. The kit should be the kit. And the club shouldn't be rinsing players, rinsing fans. I was braced in the time when kits used to be changed 2-3 seasons, you know? Sometimes 3 seasons. It was 2 seasons, sometimes 3 seasons. And you know what? That's good, because you get your jersey and you say, right, this is going to last me 2 years. You know what I mean? Nowadays, it's like they bring out a kit every single year. And sometimes the design is similar to the other one, to last year. It's just because it's new. People are like, oh, wow, yeah, I'm going to get that. But I haven't purchased a shirt in a very long time because of the Glazers. I haven't, you know. And the last shirt that I was given was the pink one. I was given that. No, I mean, that was the last one I purchased, guys, absolutely. And not me purchased, but was a gift for me. absolutely, which was purchased. That's the only other shirt that I've had in the last. You're looking at since 2008, around that time. Yeah. Lanzo, Newcastle have bid rejected for Alanga at 30%. Yeah, Nottingham Forest reject a bid from for Mr. Alanga, of course. I don't know if Newcastle really need him, but you know what? They obviously do. They're looking for a winger, obviously. There was obviously rumours about Rashford going to Newcastle not too long ago, which didn't materialise. It's surprise, of course. Ibrahimovic, big up Ibrahimovic, very good player. Sal, my bro, what's your favourite kit? I love the Vodafone kit in 2003. My favourite kit is probably one of these ones, mate. I like this one. I also like the 99 treble one. For me, that's iconic. Cannot beat it. The memories I had. I also like the 2007 home jersey. You know, it had a slight gold on it. Do you remember it? It had a slight gold on it. Remember we played AC Milan and stuff? I was at that game like when we beat Roma 7-1 and stuff like that. That kit was one. Fit well as well. Fit very well. So the Nike made some good kits for us, to be honest with you. Grayo, the Man United away kit, 19, I had black stripes. It had still my favorite. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. That's the one. And it had a funny collar, didn't it? It had a funny collar. Yeah, that one. Yeah, we have had black on our kit in the past. Big up, Tybo. What's going on? Sorry, I've come all the way down. Guys. So many messages. Thank you so much, Tybo, you absolute legend. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Messer, you win. Sorry, see Yorkshire Cowboy. Don't test the man, mate. Second is Makeda. Third is Giuseppe Rossi, mate. You know what I mean? Giuseppe Rossi, mate. Trust me. Can't mess. That's way better than Bayern's new kit, at least. I like Bayern's away one, to be honest with you. I think the Adidas Originals brown and white one isn't bad. Massimo Taibbi, what a legend, mate. What a goalkeeper. Absolutely brilliant. Italian players were very conservative to their own league. We almost were close. You know why this is Dabisas? And I would say this is why Italians are generally good international. I know they haven't been good recently. They're in a bad period at the moment. But back in the day, they used to be good internationally because they fitted each other. Basically, they were a unit and they played one way, and that's how they played. 1-0, you go 1-0 down against Italy. That was it. Game over. Do you know what I mean? These days, not at all. Not at all. They're not as good as they used to be, guys. Absolutely not. I am very confident Ruben will approve it where he knows the players and the players know how he is. Lanzel, I think I'm very confident about next season. Absolutely. I'm on your side, Lanzel. I think I'm very confident next season. I think it's going to be a good season next season. And we're going to surprise a few people. I'm not going to get totally over exaggerating and stuff like that. But I think we're going to surprise a few people next season. I really do. Steve-O, good evening. What's going on? Absolutely. I hope you're doing. Sal is the kit with the vertical stripes through the badge. Sal, is that the kit with the vertical stripes through the badge? What do you mean the vertical stripes through the badge? No, it's not that one, Steve. It's not that one, mate. You mean this one? No, this is early 90s, mate. This is late 80s, early 90s, bruv. Not this one. This is not the kit. This is just a stripy kit. You know what I mean? I look like I'm about to go and buy a croissant with my bicycle, don't I? I look like I'm about to go and buy a croissant. You know what I mean? On my bicycle. AEIG and the Chevrolet kits. Chevrolet were awful, David says. Don't bring in Chevrolet. They were awful. Please, mate. AEIG weren't bad, but the Chevrolet kits, disgusting, mate. History, best in the bin, mate. Sal, I hope if Liverpool win the league next season, I hope we do not give them guard of honour at Old Trafford. You know what I would say, Natty? If that happened, I will be opposed to it. It's not happening. You don't do it. You do not do the guard of honor. I'm telling you right now, you do that guard of honor. I'm telling you, I'm going to make a stream. I'm going to make a black thumbnail and everything. It's going to be a proper stream, guys. You know what I mean? Like we interrupt this broadcast sort of stream. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be one of them ones. If Man United done a guard of honor for Liverpool, I'm telling you right now, my goodness me, you are going to feel the wrath of Sal if we did that. Because you know what that does? Do you know what the only thing that serves to do? When you give a guard of honor to another club, right? And we had the privilege of doing it, having it done to us. We had it done against Arsenal at the Emirates, which was lovely, of course. But we've had to do it to Chelsea in the past. And I hated it. Guard of honors are in the bin, guys. Guard of Honor's in the bin. If Liverpool win the league, which I hope they won't, right? I hope, God hope they won't. I say to them, F the Guard of Honor. That is not happening, because if that happens, all what's going to happen, guys, all that's going to contribute to is basically them bantering us. That's all it's going to contribute to, is them bantering us over the years. APN, how are you doing, my friend? I'll be doing well. Amas or Leon can go for a loan because we have a bunch of left wingers. Absolutely agree with that, APN. I wonder who will we sign. It depends how good Diego Leon is. We have to wait and see. Did we sign that Amrabat as we promised? Is he still training on his owner United shirt? Amrabat, I mean, we should have signed Amrabat. He would have been handy last season. Which year was the purple away one? Purple away one. Purple away one. That must have been recent. I can't remember the purple away Man United jersey. You know, let me have a look. Purple away Man United jersey. That was a training kit, bruv. That was a training kit. And that was like years ago. That was with Aeon. If that was with Aeon, that would be about 2010. That was at 2010. Randy, yeah, I want one of those, Randy. I want one of those Cantona ones. I've got that kit, but I haven't got anything written on the back. But when I wore that kit, I was 1993, 11, 12. So probably still fits me. Be tight. Jaylani, our first games are hard. I mean, we could see two ways in it. We can have the two ways. We either take it as motivation, or we worry about it and get scared. All we can do is just take it as it comes and win the first game. If we win the first game against Arsenal, which is possible, we've done that in the past. We've beaten Arsenal with 10 men last season. Then it'll be good. No name on it. I got it with no name. Yeah, Randy. I got it from a place. I got that shirt from a place that David Beckham used to buy his Man United tops in Leytonstone, in Walthamstow in East London. So he used to go to Walthamstow in East London, and I bumped into Beckham a couple of times. My mum used to know his mum. We lived in the same area, Leytonstone, born in the same hospital. And he used to go to a sports shop in Chingford. It's called Chingford, the area officially. It's near Walthamstow. And we used to buy the jerseys from there. And I got my Man United jersey from there. I got the whole kit. Guys. I got the whole kit. You don't want to see it. You don't want to see it, do you? You don't want to see it. You know what I mean? You don't want to see it. Do you really want to see it? I'm going to show you now, guys. I'm going to show you. I'm going to have to show you guys the kit. So let me just do this, right? I'm going to go here. Let me just, let's go to profile. Here we go, guys. There's me in all my glory, guys, in my kit. There you go, guys. That is me many, many years ago. You're looking at about 1992. This picture was taken. 1992. Absolutely. In East London. That is me. Wearing the Manchester United kit. Yes, one of my favorites. I think it still fits me. If it fits me, it's absolutely fantastic, isn't it? At the end of the day, guys. So that's me. That is me. For my sins. Chadinga, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. 2 players for 1 is a good deal, but it depends on Amram. Absolutely. Yeah, sweet. Big up, my friend. Big up. I've got lots, Dabizas, but they're all on paper photos. I've got photos with Alex Ferguson. I've got photos with, Paul McGrath. And I've got photo with Cantona. I've got a lot of photos on paper. So I'm going to bring them in. They're in London. So I need to get them sent over. You know what I mean? I've also got lots of jerseys. I've got signed jersey as well. Maybe I'll do a competition soon next year in regards to that. The most beautiful United shirt is the one behind Sal, all-time favorite. Yeah, one of my favorite. This is my favorite as well. It's just so it transcends time, doesn't it? It transcends time. It just looks good as well. You know what I mean? That's the one I have. Big up, Randy. Mark, that's not you. That's Ole Gunnar. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a lot too young then, mate. He's too young, funny enough. Younger than me, but half black collar. I think he was younger than me. No, I think he's older than me. But half black collar. Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Guys, I want to thank everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. You absolute legends. You guys who come in and stream and are serious and give great football opinions. It's all about the community. You guys are brilliant. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know, great community. Keep smashing the like, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. It's got to be some people there, guys. And there's got to be some people who, you know what, haven't smashed the like or haven't subscribed yet, guys. So thank you so much, guys, and have a great day. By the way, Grayo has sent me a picture from the 1970s. This shirt. So this is the shirt, guys. I'm gonna show you guys now. This is the shirt that Grayo was talking about. Can I see it? You see that shirt there? You see that shirt there? Right there? That shirt right there. You know what I mean? Is got black on it. It's a lovely shirt. It's a lovely shirt. I would wear that now. I got the George Best number 7 one as well from the 1970s as well, guys. Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much, guys. You absolute legends. And don't forget to join me tomorrow for Breaking Dawn. And also, please don't forget to put your notifications on. So if I do go live, you guys will know about it firsthand, guys. So, guys, thank you so much. Much love to you all. Hope you have a great evening. Take it easy. I'm Sal Warner, this is Chatterbox. And I'll see you through the window. Take it easy. Peace.